Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's Fat Tuesday, and we're just plain living here. I'm John Gray.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And it is Fat Tuesday.
It is.
It
Fat.
is.
That's how we got off onto the conversation prior to coming on the air about diets, right?
Right.
Yeah, because it's Fat Tuesday. Okay,
Today you're supposed to be able to do anything you want to.
John has got one of the most, and I just found this out. He's got one of the most interesting diets I've ever heard of, and I like it. And kind of give us a little, yeah. Well, not exactly, but
well,
sort
it's
of.
not a diet. You just change some things. You just stop doing some things that you don't need to be doing, but.
Like taking that third piece of pie.
That third piece of pie. No, you can't have it. Don't eat pie. I love pie, by the way. My mama made me, I can do it without cake.
But you got to have your pie.
Mama, for my birthday, she used to make a lemon rub pie, and it was like a lemon chess about that thick, and she'd take two of them and turn them over and make a pie cake.
And it takes about 6 cups of sugar.
Oh, yeah, and lemon zest, and it's wonderful. You know, do better. Try to do better. Give a few things up. I always give up potatoes. I give up potatoes and pasta and bread pretty much.
Yeah.
But if I want a hamburger, I'm going to eat one.
You just don't want to wrap it in lettuce, do you? You want
no. I mean, hamburgers, and I don't eat that many hamburgers anyway. But see, I don't like a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Cheese is not supposed to go on a hamburger. A hamburger is a hamburger, mayonnaise on the bottom, the burger. Then there's lettuce, then there's tomato, onions, mustard on the top, and you lay the pickle on the mustard like tile. A little garlic salt.
That sounds good.
Cliff Crutcher used to live next door to us on Druid Lane when we were growing up, and he had a waffle iron with the flat side, just the waffles are on one side and the flat side, and every time he'd make a hamburger, he'd turn that thing on and he'd press that bun down and
it really got
the top kind of crunchy.
A little bit like grilling the bun.
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
You talk about good. Now, you can't give that up forever.
Oh, of course not.
If you go a month without eating a biscuit and gravy and you just got to have one, get you one. You're supposed to have fun in this life. You're not supposed to punish yourself. Just be watchful.
I kind of wish you hadn't even brought up the biscuit and gravy. Yeah.
You want one now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I've done diets for so long that I don't eat a lot of potatoes and bread. As a general rule, and don't really miss it, but
ideally,
biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, ideally, you just wouldn't have to call it a diet. You just learn to live,
you learn to live and eat better stuff, and it's good to eat fresh stuff versus canned stuff.
You could plant some lettuce and plant a tomato, and it'd be right there around the house.
I go to the Sunshine Shop down there at the bottom of the viaduct down here. They have the best tomatoes year round, and cucumbers and stuff like that you can eat. I went down there the other day and got some tomatoes because I love tomatoes, and they taste just like summer tomatoes. And they have a lot of good Amish stuff down there. They have butter and cheese and stuff. It's healthier stuff because it's not made in a factory so much as it's made individually.
I'm going to change the subject.
Go ahead. Get it.
Did you watch the awards the other night?
The Oscars?
One of the things that I noticed, the first thing was Kidman's clapping. Did you see that? She clapped like this.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
What's the weirdest thing?
Nicole Kidman.
When everybody else is clapping, she is like this. And I just thought that was so odd.
They featured those clips on several shows that I've seen.
I just noticed it.
Well, that's like last night when we were doing Tennessee Traveler. Tabitha said that she made the same remark, and she said that woman is a wonderful actress.
Oh, yeah.
She's a beautiful person, but she absolutely has zero rhythm.
Maybe that's what it was.
She's got no rhythm.
While everybody's
she
doing
can't
this,
dance.
she's going.
There was a movie I saw her in one time, kind of a funny movie, and she had to dance, and it was just horrible.
She just couldn't do it.
No, that's okay. She has other attributes. Being gorgeous is one of them.
She's married to a guy that's got lots of rhythm.
Yeah, Keith Urban.
Yeah.
So,
it was kind of interesting about the big mess up they made with the award at the end.
Right.
And
Touche and Deloitte, or Deloitte and Touche, or whoever it is that does all of that.
Yeah.
counting and keeping up with that and certifying all that. I wonder what intern got fired over
I
that.
know. They get a lot of money for doing that. So
I bet they do.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I bet they do.
And
Well, and evidently what they did is they printed 2 cards for the female.
I think they printed 2 cards for everything, if I remember correctly.
Either that or
because they enter from different sides of the stage. So however that works out.
Yeah.
You know, they've got one on each side.
Okay.
And then somebody
Somebody didn't pull that one off and throw it to the side.
Correct. I think that's what happened.
at least they.
But
they straightened out.
how tough would that
Moonlight,
be?
was it
Yeah.
Moonlight that won.
Moonlight won. How tough
won.
would that be? You're up there, and the 3 guys had already made their speeches about winning that. And all of
Yeah,
a
that
sudden,
was tough.
This guy looks down there
That's
at
the
the
one
card and it
thing.
said Moonlight on it. Oh my God!
They had to go there and stop it.
That's
Anyway.
like you
That's
putting a ring on a girl. She's already walked down the aisle, and you put a ring on her, and when the preacher says something else, she looks up and goes, I don't think so. hands it back to you.
I'm sure that's happened.
Oh, Lordy.
I knew of a girl that did that. She got all the way to the wedding and started down the aisle and just panicked and left the building.
Really?
But she didn't go through with
There's
it.
a
yeah.
great movie that, who's that beautiful girl that did Pretty Woman?
Oh, good grief. Big smile.
Yeah,
lots of
yeah.
teeth.
Julia Roberts.
Julia,
called
yeah.
called Runaway Bride or something
Right.
like that, where she's run out of about 4 or 5 weddings. She just can't go.
You know, my daughter had a little meltdown. I guess it was the day of the wedding. It wasn't because she didn't want to marry Greg.
Yeah.
It was it was the night before. She was just sick of all
All the
stuff you have to do
Yeah.
to get to this point.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember telling her, hey, baby, we'll get off this train right now if you want to. We don't have to do that. But she persevered.
There is a lot of stuff that has
Yeah.
to be done, even when you don't have a huge wedding. There's a lot of stuff.
Well, it's and we were talking about it with Chief Blackwell over here a minute ago, and Peggy and I before the show. So we always say y'all ought to come down here and sit in the audience and listen to what goes on before
Yeah.
we get started. Is and I've thought about it a lot. The institution of things and other people's opinion and judgment on things many times gets in the way of us having a happy life.
Not me. I just
But a lot of
pay attention to
people,
it.
because this wedding stuff, it's this is what you're supposed to do, and what if you don't
And
want to
that's
do it? That's
ridiculous.
just
Exactly.
you shouldn't do
No.
it. But a lot of times people are forced into doing things
Because they
because
think
the
it's-
group says that's what It's hard to be an individual.
Exactly, and I didn't have a really great functioning family growing up, so
That's why you're such a nice
so
guy.
I don't understand. I didn't understand why you had to do all
Yeah.
that stuff, And when I remember during Christmas at the Legion, we talked about this many times, but you got about 6 weeks there where there's a party every day, and
Right.
by the time you get to the end of that, you're exhausted,
Right.
and the last thing
Sleep deprived.
is no sleep, and the last thing you want to do is go to some other deal. But when I first got married, it was like you're required to do this, and this, and this, and so it's like you go home and lay down on the couch, and 30 minutes later, after you've been through that marathon,
You gotta go through it
you
again.
you gotta go do
Get
something
up,
else.
Yeah.
Suit up again.
Yeah.
Put your cleats on,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
At the beginning, you thought, all I have to do is put on a suit and go do this.
Yeah,
It didn't
yeah.
work that way.
Doesn't work
And Thanksgiving and Christmas, you feel obligated to go eat with so many different people or have people to your house, that sort of thing. Nobody's hungry by that point,
I know. Overstuffed and outnuts. Anyway, I mean, it never dawned on me when I got married that my parents would have to pay for it. I think
Yeah.
it's usually a humongous expense. I was out of school. I had a job. My husband had a job. So I felt it fell on me and him to pay for it.
Right.
And we did.
Yeah.
And we got just as married
Absolutely.
and laughed all the way.
And
for
it obviously took. You were married for how many years?
45.
45. So
Before he died.
that
45 years.
Yeah. Right. So.
Well, tomorrow starts Lent. Ash Wednesday's tomorrow night, and that's 40 days till Easter.
February is being done. It's done today. That's
This is on the radio. They're saying this is the year without a winter. Because we just basically hadn't had a winter.
Right.
I mean, the flowers are up, the fruit trees are blooming. Of course, it's probably going to drop about 8 inches of snow in end of March.
That's what I'm worried about.
It does that sometimes.
It has happened before, yes.
But today's Fat Tuesday, and all the folks down in New Orleans,
we should have worn our beads.
Louisiana.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, I've got some hanging back there. I might go get them and put them on you before it's over with.
And a mask and all that good stuff.
But
he's going to go get those beads and put them on you. But there are requirements for that. John will explain the fine print to you.
Okay.
They'll have to be off camera.
Oh, okay.
Off camera. So I've got this thing.
I don't think we're going to be able to trick people.
I've got
like
this thing I wrote talking about how crazy things are and just what we've talked about a little bit. Everything seems upside down. Have they all gone mad? This might be the worst week this world has ever had. There's fighting everywhere. Can't we all just get along? As for me, I'm headed home. Something good's going on. Something good going on when I hit the door. The smell of supper cooking, kids in the floor. That boss weighing my pound of flesh don't even know I'm gone. He's got his share. I've gone to where something good's going on. Like Odie Lee sitting there with a baby in his lap. Uncle Bunch fly catching on the front porch as he naps. A double lemon wedge and Teresa's cold sweet tea, the glow of dawn in your hair right there next to me. Something good going on. Let the talking heads go to bed with everything that's wrong. I'll spend my time trying to find something good going on. Something good going on, just waiting there for you at your mama's kitchen table in a Sunday morning pew. A new melody under a live oak tree, the magic's not all gone. The race ain't done, here comes the sun. Something good going on. The Cajuns say, le bon temps roulé, and a Cajun's never wrong. Find your soul, let the good times roll. Something good's going on.
That's nice.
So make that your day today. Make something good go on. And we'll worry about the rest of it tomorrow, and then we'll try to do that again. We'll be right back.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Folks, we're back, and what we want to do, and we're going to have a few things on, segments on today to wrap up Black History Month, but because it's Fat Tuesday and all that takes place in New Orleans, we're going to show you a little clip of the Preservation Hall Band from New Orleans, Louisiana, walking down Bourbon Street, playing a little music.
Dr. Credit here from Russell Barnett Kia. Are you needing a vehicle but don't think it's possible because of your current credit situation? Great news, it is possible. But don't just take it from me. Here's a few of our satisfied customers and what they had to say.
Not only did they take the time to get to know me and my wants, they found me someone to finance me with my bad credit and got me the car of my dreams.
Dr. Credit, come see him. He's great. He can help you. I know he can. He helped me.
Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday Miracles, Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is our segment called Police Pointers, and it's always an interesting segment. And our guest today, as always, actually he's our host of this segment, Paul Blackwell, Tullahoma Police Chief, who was just telling me something a moment ago about Paul pretty much knows everything.
Well, no.
Pretty much knows everything. I've come to realize that. But you got a question asked
I
to
did.
you.
A citizen asked me a question the other day, and they almost stumped me. I gave them an answer, and I was half right, half wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and they asked me the question if you were allowed to have chickens in the city limits. And the way it kind of led up to that question, this person was saying that their husband had made a garden for themselves, and he was trying to get into growing some of their own vegetables. And so once he got excited about that, he said, well, maybe we'll just get us some chickens and have fresh eggs. And
right.
So that kind of what precipitated that question to me. And initially I told him, no, you can't have chickens in the city limits. And that's partially right, partially not right. Mm-hmm. So I went back to do some checking to read the city ordinance to see what it says, and then I got back to the person and gave him the answer. But it was kind of interesting to do a little reading on farm animals in general within the city limits. You know, we don't have a whole lot of agricultural land. We do have agricultural zoned areas in the city.
I didn't even know that.
We did. I didn't. I had to pull up the zoning map to look at it and see where some of these were located. And then when I saw them, it's like, well, yeah, you know, I can picture that location. Mm-hmm. But the answer to the chickens is you can have chickens in the city limits if you live in a R1 zoned area that is low density. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you're going to have to figure out where you're zoned. And then if you do, the chickens can't be running around your yard. They have to be confined in a coop all the time. They don't get any, you know, reprieve to get out for an hour to run around.
Yeah.
They've got to stay in the coop the entire time. And each chicken has to have 4 square feet of space. So
somebody actually thought about this.
It's in the city ordinance, and you can only have 20 chickens per acre. So, you know, it's kind of complicated. So if you want to have chickens, you need to check with the codes and animal control as to whether you fit the category, you know, as to whether you can have chickens or not. And you've got to clean the coop daily.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in the city ordinance that talks about that.
Do you have any idea how old that ordinance was?
I didn't look to see that, but being how it was using the residential scale that we use now, I would imagine that it's been updated as our zoning maps update.
Yeah, probably so.
But then, so you go a little farther and think, well, okay, what about horses?
Yeah.
What about cows? You know, those are permitted if you're in a R1 zoned, low density area, but you got to have at least 4 acres. So then you think, well, how many places in Tullahoma have 4 acres?
4 acres,
but there are some. There are. And then you can only have so many horses per acre. You know, there's a ratio that you can have. So I found that kind of interesting. Now, you cannot have goats anywhere in the city. It doesn't matter.
No goats.
No goats. No goats. No pigs.
Yeah, no pigs.
No
either.
pigs. Pigs and goats are prohibited in town.
But horses and cows.
Horses, cows, and other sheep, llamas, emus, you know, all that type. There's restrictions, but, you know, you can have those, but no pigs, no goats.
Yeah.
Now, you can have a Vietnamese pot-bellied pig as a pet.
Yeah.
It's got to stay in your house, you know, and you can only have 4 of them. But now, if you take that pig out for a walk, you know what you got to do?
No.
It's got to be on a leash.
The pig does. Okay.
The pig has got to be on a leash. So,
Paul, you have a very challenging job.
Go to a commercial.
I can just see somebody walking down the street.
And if you've ever seen these Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs, they're big pigs.
Yeah, right.
You could probably put a saddle on it and let your kid ride on it.
Right.
So you can have pot-bellied pigs. They got to they have to stay in your house.
Yes.
You can only have 4 of them, unless they're under 6 months old. If they're under 6 months old, you can have as many as you want. But the point they hit 6 months, you can only have 4.
Yeah.
And if you want to walk, got to put them on a leash. So
what do you do? What do you do if you have a complaint and you go in and there's 8 pigs in there? Are you going to confiscate the pigs?
I guess if you got 2 cops in there, you got 10.
Okay. Oh my goodness!
I don't know what you do.
Oh my goodness!
But
that was a good one, Paul. That was a good one.
The good thing is that we could call animal control and say, "This is your deal."
Oh, yeah, that's
it
what
would
you
fall
would
under animal control.
Right. Okay.
But I found that kind of interesting, and obviously we're having a good time.
Right.
I'm
Right.
in the back laughing, but there are. One of those things you just don't think about, and as you said, the police, society has changed so much to where the police have to do almost everything.
Right.
We're called upon because we're the first responders that you can get the quickest for any given situation. So we have to deal with a lot of this. We very well could be faced with a neighbor saying, "Hey, my neighbors have got these chickens and they're making noise all night long," or they've got these pigs.
That's right.
And, so our officers might have to deal with something like that.
You know, you folks in the control room, that comment you just made about the officers and the pigs, you need to cut that out and put it in our archives. I'm sure we're going to want to bring that one back.
If we can't laugh at ourselves, who can we? We can't laugh at other people then.
That's right.
And I think it would definitely be a situation if you rolled up to a house and someone had 4 or 10 or 8 Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs in the house sitting on the couch.
Yeah, I agree.
So I got back to the person that asked me the question to give him the answer on the chickens.
And were they asking because they wanted to have chickens?
Yeah, they thought since they were getting into the growing their own vegetables, things like that, why not go and start having our own eggs, fresh eggs, and so just provided that answer to them.
It's probably rare, actually, in all seriousness, it's probably rare that somebody asks you a question because you've been doing this law enforcement thing for so long that you probably have.
Most of those questions, right. It's repetitive. You've dealt with it at some point before, or you've researched it at some point to where you'd have the answer. But yeah, this one kind of caught me off guard.
Right.
Now, if they'd asked me if they had pigs, I could have told them straight up, no, you can't have pigs.
Can't have pigs.
Or goats, I could tell them that straight up. But the chickens kind of threw me off a little bit. I remember having read about chickens, but so I was able to give them the right answer.
Well, that's good to know because I knew that I've seen people with chickens. Actually seen chickens running across the road on North Washington Street before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't know. I assumed they were probably legal, but I wasn't sure.
Well,
but
by that standard, no, because the ordinance says that you can't have chickens running at large.
Right.
That's why you got to have them cooped up all the time so they can't get out and run and do whatever chickens do.
Right. Right. Try to keep them getting their heads.
So if you got any questions about animals, I try to help you, but animal control, call them first.
Call them first, yeah. I know you do get complaints over dogs barking and stuff like that.
We do.
You're the first people there to deal with that.
We are a lot of times, and we're a 24/7 operation. That's why I say we're always getting called about something.
Yeah.
Because there's some departments that close down and they have to close.
Yeah.
They aren't a 24/7 operation, so we get called about dealing with the problem.
Right.
If it's a disturbance, if it's a nuisance, whatever the case may be, we have to handle it. And sometimes it may be referring somebody to animal control.
But somebody's got to do that, and that could happen in medical emergencies as well.
It's anything. Because the police, and we're proud of that we can be somewhere much faster than the other first responders. Nothing against them.
Right.
But they're not sitting there. Let's take our fire department. You know, they work 24-hour shifts. They're not awake that entire 24 hours just waiting for the bell to go off.
Right.
They're sleeping or doing, you know, there's certain periods where they're allowed to sleep. So if they get a call, they've got to get up, they've got to get dressed, they've got to get their vehicles and rolled. Same thing with our ambulance service. You know, those folks work 24-hour shifts. They don't just sit at the desk waiting for a call.
Right.
They've got to be rested because,
Sure.
you know, so the police become the obvious people to call.
Right.
Because we're out there, and we can usually get anywhere in town in less than 3 minutes.
Right.
If it's an emergency, we can get there a whole lot faster. So
And
yes.
I would guess that if you're the first person there, you assess the situation and realize it's not as big an emergency as someone might have thought.
and
then
we
you
do
can
that.
keep from having to roll
we
a
call
lot of
them off,
equipment out.
or we give them an update as to what the status is,
Right.
so that they'll know, you know, say what they need to bring into a house or
Right.
something. But yes, and so we're proud of the fact that we're able to provide that response so quickly to the community.
Right.
Now, there are some places where you call even the police, and it's going to take you, you know, it's going to take several minutes for
Right.
anyone to get there.
And probably if you are in an emergency situation, you think it's taking a lot longer than it really is.
It does.
Yeah,
People,
so-
you know, we hear that over and over and over. Even as officers, you're somewhere and you're calling for, say, an ambulance or the fire department,
Right.
and you're sitting there thinking, where are they? Where are they?
Right.
You know, because time almost stands still when you're in that emergency situation.
We're about out of time, but I know that
They didn't give me any extra for the laughing. You know, I mean, any alibis or
Apparently
anything?
not.
Apparently not.
I do want to say though that you at the chamber banquet this year, the police department, the fire department, I think Public Works was recognized as extra milers of the year for their efforts in the tornado, handling the tornado. I also thought it was interesting that you guys actually practiced those scenarios.
Yeah. The mayor is very proactive on emergency response preparedness.
Yeah.
And we get together once a quarter, and there's some kind of scenario. We don't always know it when we get in there, and the mayor may just throw it out, and how are y'all going to respond?
Right.
You know, but the big thing about these quarterly is interacting with all the parties that would be involved.
Right.
And I think that's what helped us so much when we had the tornado, is that we were all able to work closely together and get the resources where they needed to be. Go ahead.
Okay, we're done.
We're done.
we're done. This may have been one of the most informative sessions we've had, Paul. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and let's see, what was that? That would be last Thursday afternoon and evening. There was a celebration held at South Jackson Civic Center where all of the grade school children come in, grades all the way up through all the grades there, and celebrate what I like best about Tullahoma. And they write and they draw and they submit their ideas, and then there was an awards night on Thursday, and it's always a great thing to see what those young people feel and have to say about the town that they love and live in. So let's watch some video from that.
A great day here in Tullahoma. The Alderman and I are pleased to welcome you to the 15th annual What I Like Most About Tullahoma Fundraiser. Our effort to encourage the elementary students of our public schools in Tullahoma to slow down a minute and think about their hometown and what it means to them. We had some really incredible entries, all of which demonstrate our young people's imagination and their ability to express their thoughts, either in prose or in graphic form. Through their eyes, we now have a better understanding of what they like and appreciate most in their hometown. Whether it be a school, a family, a favorite restaurant or business, a church or friends, these themes shine through, and this is no surprise. Tullahoma is a great community made up of many fascinating people, places, and things. This year we had over 1,200 entries thanks to the support of our principals, staff, administration, and school board. And you have sitting next to you or close to you one of the 48 winners of this contest. Please make sure you acknowledge a job well done. To narrow from over 1,200 entries to 48 winners is not an easy task. Thanks to our judges, the members of the Mayor's Youth Council. Our young people are confronted with difficult decisions daily. It is important to recognize the achievements and accomplishments of our young people and use this as another positive influence in your life. And this contest is but one example of the many good works of our young people. I'm very proud of these entries and proud of our young people. I challenge you to keep up the good work and continue to do good things for your community. And parents, please take time to talk with your young person about Tullahoma and their role of keeping Tullahoma clean and safe. These 1,200 entries are captured in a snapshot what they like most about their hometown and what it means to them. If you've not seen your child's entry, please take a moment to study it at the conclusion of the program. It represents the very best of their entire grade at their school. I believe you will be fascinated with the work of these young people, the detail and the planning that went into each one. I've looked at each one and I'm proud of every entry. Every one of you is a winner. And my message to you is this: continue to be a leader and lead by example. I challenge you to work with others in your class to make this a first-class community. Let's help keep Tullahoma clean. Please only do safe things, and let's stay drug-free. Listen to your teachers and your parents. Study hard, get involved, and always do your best. Okay, Coach Mathis, I'll call you up first.
Jake Holden, kindergarten, Bel Air. All Bel Air, come up here. Katie Prater, Ellen Wayne Skidmore, Adeline Underwood, Landon Jones, Elena Peterson, Logan Brewer, Angela Young, Kyle Stanko, Esther Edwards, Gabe Morgan, and Avery McLean.
Okay, all the time, please. Robert E. Lee School. The first one is Ben Field. Sam Harding. Abby Gammon. Maddox Levy. Aleia Now, order Dr. Jenny White. Fair Elementary. Alexis Bushy. Colton Tennant. Emma Pruitt. Luke Wilson. Dave Ballinger. Anna Carter. Reagan Kelly. Callie Hitchcock. Ronson Bunch. Colby Tucker. Lindsay Garcia. Christopher Owens.
In school, I'm going to be recognizing as East Lincoln. Nevaeh Ricardo. Gunnar Anderson. Deja Robinson. Peyton Tagley. Lila Moss. Noah Bates. Taylor Thomas. Gabriel Mendez. Mariah Simmons. E.J. Newman. Sylvia Doss. We congratulate all the East Lincoln.
Of the 48 winners, we have 2 grand prize winners. Sure, what do you know?
Why do I love Tullahoma? There are a few reasons that make me love this wonderful city. They include schools, places, and people. The first reason is my school, Robert E. Lee. The teachers are so nice. They let us have fun projects, but they still teach us. And also, the people I've met are the ones I won't forget. Another reason I love Tullahoma is the variety of places. One of my favorite places to eat is the Celtic Cup. I also like the Sonic. D.W. Wilson is my home. I'm there swimming there all the time with my swim team. I enjoy the fun parks, especially the Imagination Station. Last but not least, Tullahoma has the best first responders. These people risk their lives for us daily. They include the police, firefighters, and paramedics. So you can see, this is why I love Tullahoma. My school, the variety of places, and the people I have met. Tullahoma is my favorite place to live. Olivia Murphy, thank you for that.
Okay, Alderman Stanton.
Congratulations to Kyle Stanko for Grand Place.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Mane. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
To find our handcrafted designs for
The Cock of the Walk.
This is an American Red Cross blood donation alert. The Red Cross is experiencing a severe winter blood shortage. There is an emergency need for blood and platelet donors to give now and help save hospital patient lives. Donations are critically needed so that patients can continue to receive the life-saving treatments they need. Resolve to make a difference and help save lives by giving blood or platelets now. Use the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make an appointment.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Rickman, and this is Pat Welch, John, and we're here for segment 41. Yes, Conversations with John and 41. Pat. We're glad to be here today. And the Vietnam War went on, and every community that I know about lost some people in their community, young men. And from Chapel Hill, there was one in particular, two lost their life, a Carl Gilbert and then a Johnny Sherfield. And Johnny Sherfield was a friend of mine, and he was going to be a farmer. Johnny loved machinery, he loved hay baling, he loved all that sort of farm life, and his parents were farmers, and you knew that was the line of work he was going into. But Vietnam changed that. And this little song about the Ballad of Johnny. The boy I write this song about was once a friend to me. We were both from Chapel Hill, a town in Tennessee. His family owned a little farm, the only life he knew. And Johnny prayed that someday he'd own a small farm too. The day he left old Forest High, his fondest dream came true. He bought a John Deere tractor and an old hay baler too. He made his money baling hay and tucked it all away, saving for that little farm that he would buy someday. Then the war broke out in '61 and John was called away to a little post in Vietnam on the outskirts south of Way. He wrote his folks, I'm sending home the money that I earn, so I can buy that little farm the day that I return. But sometimes things don't work out for those we love the best. Like my old buddy Johnny, his soul now lays at rest. Killed in hostile action, he'll work the fields no more. He'll never buy that little farm that he was longing for. Johnny Sherfield. That's one of your best, John. His mama and daddy, Jack and Alice Sherfield. And that song right there, my mother did some sort of crochet, knitting, I don't know what she did, but that was on her door in the Sherfield house. Wow. We've talked about doing the show before, John, and it isn't going to be easy, but we're going to get through it. Yeah. And one of the reasons we wanted to do it now is we've had a time of several different athletes refusing to stand for the national anthem, and we're not going to credit them by even mentioning their name, but I think we need to remember that the flag is due respect, not because it's of its material, but because it represents the values that our country holds dear, that everybody has dignity and worth, and that everybody has inalienable rights that can't be taken from them. And one of those, of course, would be liberty. And the flag to a veteran and to the present serving military is precious. They're defending not the material, they're defending the values of our country that no one else in the world, I think, can equal. And there's time periods where, you know, we've talked before in battle that somebody would be carrying the flag, and they were proud to do it, knowing that also made them an instant target. And there's battles been fought where the flag bearer would, one after another, there'd be 8 or 10 killed, one right after another. The picture at Iwo Jima of the 4 gentlemen raising the flag is important, not because of itself, but because of the values that it represents. And to a military person, that means a whole lot. So I think when we don't stand for the national anthem, we don't show respect to the flag, and in a way we've disrespected all of our veterans. Many have given their lives for those people.
Many of our ancestors too.
Yeah, and that brings us today to a little story that I want to talk about. That again, like John, your friend, and he died in defending the city of Way, and I believe that was spelled H-U-E, but it was pronounced Way. And this Kenny Banks, our friend Kenny Banks, served in that area in the defense of Way. I want to talk a little bit about Susan Warwick today. She worked with me for about 20 years at the Builder Supply, and also about 10 years at Southern Community Bank. And when the topic of Vietnam came up, mostly at the Builder Supply, it just met with a lot of resistance, and there was something about it that bothered her, and she wasn't about to get involved in any kind of conversation. And I finally found out that she'd lost a brother in Vietnam, and I guess it was about 3 years ago. I knew she had moved here from New Jersey, that she grew up in New Jersey, and I assumed that her brother was buried there. And so I found out, going to visit one of our sons in New Jersey, that her hometown is Bordentown, which is a small, idyllic looking, like a postcard kind of New England type town in New Jersey. It was real close to where John was living, and so I didn't think much more about it till he wanted to go to see Atlantic City. So we came back around, and we were going right through the town. So I thought, I'm going to see if we can find the cemetery. And the cemetery is a focal spot in town. Had Revolutionary soldiers all the way up to the recent times, to the Middle East soldiers that were buried there. And I thought, this is going to be impossible. But John, it took me 5 minutes to find his grave. And go ahead, if you don't mind, Philip, and show that grave marker that we found. And if you can see the dates. Susan's maiden name was Thorne. Her brother's name was Joseph M. Thorne, and known to the family as Joey. And if you look at his birth date and then his death date, you'll see that he was 18 years old. And I believe it's May 31st of 1968 that he lost his life. And that should have been either his graduation day or his graduation from high school day, give or take 3 or 4 days on either side of it, and it really touched me. And so I took these pictures and did a little research on the internet about him, and went to see her, of course, real early in the morning. I made sure I was just going to be me and her at the bank, and she knew I had gone to her hometown, and she suspected I'd been to that cemetery. But when I showed her the pictures, she immediately became very emotional. And when she saw my reaction to that, she said, it's still so fresh. It's still so fresh. John, it was 46 years since she lost her brother. And she opened up then and told me that she had 2 brothers in Vietnam at the same time, and that officer came to the door, down the sidewalk to their door, and dressed in his dress uniform, and so they knew. Her mother and her saw him coming, and the mother knew what was going to happen, and she started crying, which one, and Susan told her it was Joey, and she collapsed, and then Susan had to go upstairs and wake her father, who was still in bed, and let him know that he lost his son, and he's buried, of course, there where I found him, and her mother, every day, following the burial of her son, walked from her house to that graveyard every single day until just before she died. She had cancer, and when she's bedridden was the first time that she could not go to that grave. And that had this whole story had an incredible impact on me. And as sad as it was, we rejoiced about where Joey is now, and we rejoice and are so thankful that he gave his life. But as touched as she was, and as touched as her family continues to be, he was one of 58,000 people that gave their lives in Vietnam. And now I know that I didn't realize until you sang the song again that Johnny gave his life in the same place that Joey did. Yeah. And we need to remember that when the flag is presented, when the national anthem or Pledge of Allegiance is called on,
and revere our servicemen too.
We need to remember the pain that so many people have gone through to uphold the role, the values of that flag, not the flag itself, but the values that it stands for. And this has been a tough thing for me to get through, John. But
you did a good job, Pat. Well done.
Thank you, and I hope this wasn't too hard on Susan and her family, because it was tough on me. And that closes 41? Down 41.
Yes,
and
that's right.
We can hardly wait to get calmed down and go to 42. Thank you.
Talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
We're back, folks, and I'm here with the sweet Miss Jenny Beal from Life Care today, and we have things to talk about other than one thing, but I'm going to sort of get this in. This girl's a farmer, and they have a farm. It's called Beal Farm. Look it up, and they sell meat. at their farm. You can buy meat there, hamburger meat, steaks, all those things like that. They can go find it on the internet.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And spell that. Spell it where they know how to spell it.
It's BIEHL, farms.com.
And you're located halfway between Shelbyville and Lewisburg?
Yes, sir, on Pickle Road.
On Pickle Road.
On Pickle Road.
Huh?
Pickle.
That's what it said, Pickle Road.
Yep.
And they'll even pickle that meat for you if you want to. But they'll deliver to you as well. So with all of that said, because I just want to give my sweet friend here a promotion on some other things, she is with Life Care of Tullahoma, one of the premier facilities in the whole area for health care after a surgery or a sort of end of life thing, but not necessarily all end of life, but illnesses or surgeries. If you need care, give your caregiver a little respite there, and
absolutely,
and plus the physical therapy side of it.
Yes. And that's actually what I'm here to talk about today, is just what the importance of planning. If you're going to have a surgery done, there's so many things that you need to plan for beforehand that makes your transition after surgery so much better. So, for instance, if you were to go have your knee done, you knew ahead of time. It wasn't an injury. It's something that, the doctors told you need to have your knee replaced. So there's a lot of planning that goes into that. Most people plan, they bring their list of medications that they're going to be on. They will set up a home health maybe that they might want to use after surgery. But a lot of people do not have the skilled nursing care facility with their doctor talk beforehand, because of a lot of the times people don't understand that they have all intentions of going home with home health, but a lot of the times they can't. Because of maybe comorbidities. Maybe they have COPD, or maybe they have another illness that might prevent that. Might take them a little bit longer to recover after surgery. It could be that they don't have any help at home.
That's true.
when you're recovering from knee surgery, just think about lying in bed. If you twist the wrong way, you can hurt everything that doctor has just fixed. So the importance of learning how to get in and out of bed, being able to get to the restroom, things like that is very, very important.
And your physical therapy and occupational therapy as well after that type of thing.
That is very imperative. It is so imperative that the doctor actually has the therapist get you up in the hospital the day of your surgery. So right after your surgery, he knows how important it is, so he's getting you up. You know, a lot of us are like, we're still have our medications on board and kind of groggy, like, what are you doing? So imagine when you're in the hospital, and I'm a nurse liaison, so I see this every day, but imagine being in the hospital and you do still have some of those medications from surgery. You're kind of, disoriented, and people are coming in and they're trying to get you up, and then you have a case manager coming in saying, well, where do you want to go for rehab? There's all these questions being thrown at you. And so a lot of the times it's very hard for a patient to comprehend everything and know what's best for them. So that's why I always recommend, we call it prehab. So you're pre-registering for that surgery. You're making sure everything's in order. Your bed's saved at the facility you want to go. A lot of patients go in and have surgery and think, well, I'll just tell them I want to go here for my rehab. When it comes to discharge, maybe that facility might be full. Now they have no idea. So I always recommend that a patient have two choices, just in case. Or call that facility, do a tour, and then make sure they have saved your bed for you. Because there's nothing like just having it all planned down. So after surgery, everything goes so much smoother.
And Life Care is a perfect place to do that. And as we've said over the years, it's a premier facility here in town, and they're so good. We've had many family members out there, and the experience has always been great. And it's active out there. This is not a morbid place. There's a bunch of old people out there, but let me tell you what, these old people have fun. They have parties, and they have dances, and they play games, and the food is good there.
Absolutely.
The food
and
is
we
good
don't
there.
have just elderly. We actually have two success stories that just left us, and I'm allowed to use their name because they've signed consents, and we've used them for marketing throughout our company. But Amanda Lyle was 34 years old. She had a massive stroke. At 34 years old, who would have thought a massive stroke? She was at a hospital. She was told she'd never walk again. She'd never eat again. She would basically have to be in a long-term care facility. One of our liaisons at that hospital looked at her and believed differently, brought her into our facility, and to jump forward to discharge through our physical therapy, speech, and occupational therapy, and of course our nursing care. She was able to walk out with just a little bit. She'd use a cane every once in a while for balance, just to make sure.
Right.
But she had her peg tube taken out. She was able to eat just as good as you and I, swallow as good as you and I. She was able to communicate as good as you and I. And she actually, we got her her own apartment, and she is petitioning to have her 3 kids put back with her. So she's caring again for her 3 kids, and that's one of the miracles that happen from teamwork and interdisciplinary team approach that we have at Life Care. It's not just one entity trying to, it's not just therapy helping this patient get to that level. It was a group effort.
Right.
It was everybody's hand in there.
It has to be. So, well, congratulations.
Yes,
on
we
that.
are very, very excited. And Natasha Allen, she was another one. She got in a head-on collision. And so she broke so many bones, her leg, her arm, her elbow, her hand. I mean, she was beat up. And she actually was an ex-employee of ours. And so to care for your own is another miracle.
Yeah,
but
sure is.
yeah, so it's not just elderly at Life Care anymore.
No, oh heavens no.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had a film and we showed it on here. One young man skydiving.
Yes, Terry O'Brien.
Terry was skydiving, and we followed Life Care for years and supported them in many ways because they are a good bunch of folks. It is a very good facility that has served Tullahoma in this area for years.
Yes.
And we appreciate the service that you have given our community.
Thank you.
And the things that you have done, just like what you're talking about, to take that extra step.
Absolutely.
To make things better than good, to make them great.
Absolutely.
And that's what happens there.
It's our honor. I mean, just when you walk into the grocery store and, you have patients and things thanking you.
Right.
One of our slogans at Life Care is community matters. Our community does matter.
Right.
We appreciate those people coming up to our nurses in the grocery store, our therapist, at Walmart or wherever they may be, and just thanking them. It makes us feel good.
Sure.
And that's ultimately why we're in this business, right?
That's right. That's right. Keep people healthy.
Yes.
Jenny Bill.
Thank you.
And don't you forget to look up Bill Farms on the internet and buy some meat from this girl.
Yay!
Yay. We'll be back in a little bit.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Tired of paying for monthly telephone service, expensive long-distance bills, and all those crazy taxes? Are you sick of spending money on telephone equipment, maintenance contracts, and service calls, all for a phone system that shackles you to 100-year-old technology and your desk? Stop it. It's time to ship your phone system to the cloud. What can the cloud do for you? Bring together remote offices, workers, and employees in the field. Make sure that you'll never miss calls by delivering them to multiple devices. Modernize faxing by allowing multiple faxes to be sent and received at once. And deliver to email. Get your voicemail messages instantly through email too. And take advantage of an endless supply of customizable features. Host My Calls can deliver the cloud. All of this technology with low upfront costs and not one penny in capital expense. It's time for a phone solution you'll truly love from Host My Calls. Call the number below.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
each year there is a regional selection of distinguished young women from the high schools around the area, and today we're showing a film clip of the winners of this region.
We will now award the Donna Brewer Spirit of Distinguished Young Women Award, which involves a $250 cash scholarship. This is a special award because the contestants voted on it themselves. They chose the girl who best exemplifies the distinguished young woman spirit. Presenting the Spirit Award is one of our last year's Spirit winners, Claire Mason.
This year we have a tie for the Spirit of Distinguished Young Woman Award. So and it looks like we have two presenters here.
Excuse us, we're just going to pass these microphones to the back.
You know what, it's become that we have a couple of mice in our pockets and ties. And also, go ahead.
Yeah, nothing like organization, and this is nothing like organization. Sarah Christopher and Claire Mason will be presenting the award since it's a tie.
This is cute. Okay. Our Spirit of Distinguished Young Woman. First recipient goes to Jessica McChesney. Our second recipient is awarded to Ashley Songer.
And just for what it's worth, since you guys can't hear it, there are some very un-Junior Miss-like statements emanating from behind stage as they're grabbing these certificates and yakking at us. I find it very hurtful, Chandler.
It's terrible. We have to go through, and we're volunteers.
This year, we will be awarding 2 preliminary awards and an overall award for each judged category. Last year, our programmed overall scholastic winner, Sarah Christopher, will present the awards to our scholastic winners.
Our preliminary scholastic winners are... Zoe, are you ready back here? Zoe, you'll go knocked over the head next thing you know. Okay. Gotta make sure this is right. This is high pressure. Our first Scholastics Preliminary Award goes to contestant number 15, Lauren Lester. And our next Scholastics Preliminary Award is awarded to contestant number 13, Leah McClure. Our overall Scholastics winner is contestant number 3, Paige Bond. Way to go, congratulations. Give them a big round of applause.
Hannah Luby was our last year program overall interview winner and my favorite photographer. Good job, Hannah. She will present our interview awards. Our 2 preliminary interview award winners are
contestant number 13, Leah McClure. And our next preliminary interview award winner, contestant number 9, Jody George. Our overall interview award winner goes to contestant number 12, Jessica McChesney.
Kim No was our last year overall talent winner, and she will present our talent awards. And Kim is doing some serious styling in
Yeah,
that
I was
dress.
about to say, Kim, you look so pretty, girl. She's like, yeah, I know. Are we ready for preliminary talent?
Our preliminary talent winners are...
Contestant number 3, Paige Bond. Our next preliminary talent award winner goes to contestant number 12, Jessica McChesney. And our overall talent award winner goes to contestant number 9, Jody George.
Katie Beth McGehee was our last year's overall fitness winner, and she will now present our fitness award. Our preliminary fitness winners are...
Our first award goes to contestant number 14, Rihanna Merritt. Our next preliminary fitness award winner goes to contestant number 9, Jody George. And our overall fitness award winner goes to contestant number 12, Jessica McChesney.
Well done, ladies.
Way to go.
Amy Beth Stevens, our overall self-expression or synchronized walking winner from last year's program, will present our self-expression awards.
Okay.
And Amy, you look ready.
Yeah, you're ready.
Boy.
I love it. Okay. Whew, this is a lot of pressure.
You good?
Again, yeah.
Our preliminary self-expression awards go to
Contestant number 1, Megan Ayers. Our next preliminary self-expression award goes to contestant number 12, Jessica McChesney. And our overall self-expression winner goes to contestant number 9, Jody George. Presenting our Cumberland Valley second alternate will be Amy Beth Stevens, last year's second alternate. Our second alternate will receive a $200 scholarship.
And we are proud to announce that our second alternate is contestant number 14, Rihanna Merritt. Presenting our first alternate will be our last year's first alternate, Katie Beth McGehee. Cumberland Valley's first alternate will be the recipient of a $500 scholarship. Our first alternate has an important role, and if for any reason that one of our winners cannot compete for the title of Tennessee's Distinguished Young Woman, then our first alternate will go in her place.
Our first alternate for this evening is contestant number 13, Leah McClure.
Bless you.
Now is the moment the award for Cumberland Valley and Tullahoma's Distinguished Young Women. Presenting the award for Tullahoma's Distinguished Young Woman is Kimberly No, winner of the title of Cumberland Valley's Distinguished Young Woman. Yeah, Zoe, get backstage. Okay, no problem. Winner of the title of Tullahoma's Distinguished Young Woman, the $1,000 scholarship and the opportunity to compete for Tennessee's Distinguished Young Woman is...
Contestant number 12, Jessica McChesney. Assisting now with the presentation of our second winner is Zoe Carter, Cumberland Valley of 2017, and our Cumberland Valley Distinguished Young Woman of 2018, and award winner of $1,000 scholarships, and that was a dreadful sentence.
Come on, Kieran.
She dropped the ball there, didn't she? But nobody cares about that sentence
Nobody
structure.
cares about the sentence structure. They only want the delivery, and they want to know what's on this card. That is Cumberland Valley's Distinguished Young Woman for 2018 is contestant number 9,
Hi, I'm Katie Beth McGehee, a senior at Tullahoma High School, and I'm here with Jessica McChesney, the new Distinguished Young Woman of Tullahoma. Jessica, what was your favorite part of this experience?
I would have to say my favorite part about this experience, excluding the fitness and the talent and everything like that, I am so grateful to have made these relationships with these girls, and winning tonight is just a plus.
How do you feel after being named the new Distinguished Young Woman?
I feel awesome. I put so much work into this, and so I'm so ecstatic, and I can't wait to go to the next level.
We're so proud of you, Jess.
Thank you.
I'm here with Jody George, the new Distinguished Young Woman of Cumberland Valley. Jody, what was your favorite part of being a part of Distinguished Young Woman?
Reaching out to new people and definitely competing tonight on stage.
How do you feel about being named the new Distinguished Young Woman?
I'm so excited.
We're proud of you, Jody.
Thank you.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I want to say happy birthday to Bitta and Nancy Jolly. Birthday's the 4th of March, same day as mine. They're my birthday twins. Congratulations. And don't forget Langston Hughes, Darius Wallace at South Jackson Civic Center next Thursday night, reading the poetry of Langston Hughes. Now we're going to go to a closing right here of some more of that good, fine, fine music. See you next time, folks.
Thank you. Thank you for Harlem and all the kids in the band. And as I said before, they all want you to know that we do love you madly. I did forget to mention about Harlem that there are a lot of nice people in Harlem. There are a lot of naughty people, too. But we are represented in Congress by a minister. Another great distinguished, rather eminent personage happens to be with us tonight. Well, he's one of the most important people in our group. He's very seldom seen in public appearances, but he's always heard. It's my pleasure to introduce the eminent composer, orchestrator, Billy Strayhorn. A flat for Billy Strayhorn, huh? Billy Strayhorn, my writing and arranging companion. He wrote our theme, Take the A Train. And now we'd like to do a very special operatic version of Take the A Train.
Sweet,